out, I hope that they at least either learn something or just had a wonderful experience or just feel better about themselves, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So for you, it's almost a transformative experience for
Yes.
people as they come through.
Right.
That's wonderful. And so one of the interesting things that you brought up was this, 8 years of experience, but it didn't just start there. Obviously that was with makeup and skincare,
Yeah.
but your entrepreneurship journey really started when you were 6.
Yes.
And so there was this great amount of confidence by the time that you decided to get in. So when you're at this crossroads, when you're employed as a workers' comp claims adjuster, is that kind of the title?
Yes, it is.
So what pushed you into there, and then were you running this side business then? Is that kind of how it worked out?
Yep. So my past experience, I've always been into claims. So in healthcare claims. So I did a little bit of that, and then I also was doing makeup artistry on the side. So the last 8 years, I did makeup artistry for the last 8 years, and then in between there, I worked at a salon too, and I was also doing makeup artistry full time. Mainly specializing in commercial photography and bridal events. And then I also did a little bit of claims. And then I went into claims full time for the last 2.5 years, up until when my department decided to go with a third party.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then so in a sense you were forced to follow your passions instead of kind of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I think it worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how that it was almost like you were giving a push to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll talk about in other segments about how we work about 2,000 hours a year. So for a lot of people that aren't familiar, if they never wrote it down, if you work about 40 hours a week and you work 50 weeks in the year, that equates to 2,000 hours. And if you think about that, if you work from age 25 to 65, that's 40 years. And I know not everybody's good at math, but so you take that as 2,000 hours you work a year and you multiply that by 40, that's 80,000 hours put in. And so, you're just a great example, Vanessa, of saying, you know what, you were consistently doing this passion that you had. Sometimes it was on the side, sometimes it was full time, and now you're doing it full time all the way in.
Right.
So what are some of the ways that people can find out about you? Obviously, you've been in the industry for a number of years, so you have some context. How can people learn about you, what services you offer now?
So they can go onto my website, thebeautyhouse.com.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook and also on Instagram. If you want to find out more about me, just visit my website, thebeautyhouse.com.
Okay. And that's V as in V for Vanessa.
Yes.
Beauty, Beauty, house, HOUSE.com.
Yes.
All right. And then for those of you that know, I'm a little bit on social media, so we can obviously follow her on Facebook and Instagram. And then for those of you that are here on the Instagram live session, I'll make a link for Vanessa here, and we'll share as a profile of the day, just be able to make sure people can get access to you.
Awesome.
And so one of the interesting things I think about business owners when we get into business for ourselves is how do we drum up business? So what are some of the things that you do right now to drum up business?
A drum up business? A lot of mine is I solely think that a lot of it is all referrals, word of mouth. That is your biggest. That is your biggest number one key as far as drumming up business. I think if you do a good job and people see that you're passionate about what you do and that you're educated about what you do, if they love you, they will send you out to everyone. They will tell everyone who you are, and they will tell people that they love you. So I really believe that, if you're good at what you do, And if you love what you do, people can see it. People can see it, and they'll spread the word. They'll spread the love.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So for you, the forefront of your experience is really making sure that everyone has that wonderful engagement with you,
Yes.
and then we'll spread the word.
Yes.
Are there anything that you're looking for doing in regards to maybe like any community events or your ribbon cuttings to let kind of people know that you've hit that 1 year mark? And
I have not, just because this is my busy season, weddings, senior photographies. So I have not, but I think for my September mark, I think I might be, planning something.
all right,
Yeah.
and that's exciting. Well, of course, you're welcome to come back on the show and let us know about all the great things that are happening
Right.
at your studio. And so one of the things I think for a lot of business owners, a lot of employees out there that might want to become a business owner, what's your advice to some people out there in the community that want to start their own business?
Yeah. I think that, if you do have something in mind, and if you're truly passionate about it, and if you are good at it, go for it. I mean, like, don't doubt yourself. And for myself, I thought about this like 8 years ago when I went into makeup artistry. My thing at that time was I wanted to have my own boutique place, and that goal was so far. I mean, I saw it, but then it was so far. I was like, God, how am I going to reach there? But of course, it was just a dream. It was just a goal. But now, because I have achieved it, it's like, oh wow, I can't believe I achieved it. I can do even more now. So, to anyone who is, thinking about, starting up your own business, like, you can do it. If you can dream, you can do it. You can do it. We have so many resources out there. Yeah.
That's amazing advice. Passion matched with your talents, and then of course subtract out any doubts.
Right.
Will really get you there to following those dreams. For kind of the more things, now that you've achieved this goal of having your own studio and running your own business, what are some of those things that you're wanting to accomplish that you wouldn't mind sharing with the audience out there?
I do have something in mind, but that is on a hush-hush right now.
Okay,
so,
okay.
But yeah, when it does come into play, I'd love to share it.
Oh, wonderful. And isn't that how business is? Sometimes there's certain things that we're working on, maybe deal-wise or working on, that we want to keep quiet in order for them to really kind of come to fruition, or nor do we want to put anybody on the spot, right? And saying, hey, I'm doing it with this person, which can be the case. So we're excited for that announcement when it comes out. And then for those people that are out there, because I think your journey to finding your passion is really unique in that you did art. You noticed that you really enjoyed kind of more the creative side of things, and then took that then to makeup. What advice would you give for anyone out there that's trying to find their passions?
Yeah. I think education is also key too.
Okay.
Education is definitely key. And of course, there's a lot of things out there right now, like social media, YouTube. I mean, like, a lot of people think that, going on YouTube, watching these videos are going to help you. Yes, they do help you, but I definitely feel like, education is key. Definitely invest in education or training, and if you want to be the best, you got to work with the best too.
Yeah.
So, for example, for myself, I actually wanted to be the best. So what I did with myself was I actually invested in a 3-day event with a Emmy makeup artist, and I went and trained with him in Chicago for 3 days, and it really helped me. It really helped me see makeup artistry in a different way. And I think that has helped me advance my career even further.
And that's a really good example that you bring up of education, because I think sometimes we grow up here in the United States where education is just given to us.
Right.
And, you go to school and you're taught. And so you're just sitting there learning. Where you decided to go out on your own, invest the money, invest the time, and learn from what you considered one of the best out there. Right. How did you end up finding that individual?
Well, that if you're in the makeup artistry, you will know that person. So that person is actually well known in the makeup artistry.
And was it with this 3-day course? Was it something that they already kind of packaged, or did you end up reaching out to them and they created it for you?
This is actually pre-packaged already.
Okay.
So the training actually had, the first day was just all, like your technical learning, the basic, more about the industry. The second day was like hands-on with him, and then the third day was your actual hands-on working on model.
Oh,
and
wow,
then that's
okay.
where he comes in and he critiques your work.
Okay.
Yeah.
That can be brutal.
Yeah.
So at that point, had you already finished your certification?
So, yep, that was already when I invested in that training. That was probably like maybe 3-4 years after I finished the